Hello, everybody. Ina here. It's so nice to be back talking to you. I feel like it's been forever. I actually didn't even post a podcast episode all of last week, and I'm like, why? What happened? So I'm going to tell you what has been happening in life, right? Because these things affect all of us and not just me. So I know there will be people out there who can relate. First of all, I just wanted to say thank you so much for tuning in. This is a special episode of Ina After Dark because it's not really after dark, and actually as summer, draws in, we're going to start to see less and less darks on Ina After Dark. But today, I had the time. I just wanted to come and chat with you guys about something that's been going on that is related to me not posting anything last week. Let me just tell you a little bit of like what's been going on my side. So as you guys know, I just got out of a few launches, a few offers that I have been putting out there, and I have been on full launch mode since January. It's been like 6 months where I go and I offer something and I put something else out there, and then I tell you, okay, come on, sign up by this date and we can work together. The reason that I do all that stuff is because I know that there are people out there. I know that there's one of you out there who's on the fence on whether you need a mentor or not, or whether you need a coach or not. There are a lot of people who feel like, I could probably just pull this off on my own. So they're off, and that's perfectly fine. I did that for a couple of years too, trying to figure it out. But there are other people who are ready, who know what it's like to sign up to work with someone, right? And know that they're going to meet their goals faster and they're going to get to learn from their expertise. So it is my responsibility to put these offers out there for those people, for all of you who are ready, so that you guys know, hey, we can still work together. Because I feel like if I don't say anything, you guys won't know. So I have been in full launch mode for 6 months, which I love because it's super exciting. I'm writing emails. I'm thinking of different ways to word the content. I love writing my content. I love the emails that I write. I love everything that I put out there during a launch. And it energizes me. Like, it keeps me really busy during the week. But then there came a time when I said, okay, I have been putting off doing publicity and writing guest blog posts and writing articles for far too long, right? So my information out there, like all my publicity, mentions and the articles that I've written and the videos I've recorded, they're all getting a little bit stale. So I think it's time for me to refocus, to use this summer to refocus a little bit and really focus on publicity, on getting blog posts out there, on getting articles out there, to really start to, getting the minds of you guys, right? And start to kind of move, like get those wheels turning in your head of what you could be doing instead. So instead of the job that you're in right now, again, this is not for everybody. It's just for people who feel like, you know what, I could be doing something more. It's my job to kind of like keep those wheels in motion, right? So I'm like, okay, it's time. And I shared this with you guys in a previous In After Dark episode, where I discovered there's an episode from my past and I believe that was episode 39 of In After Dark. For everybody who's on the podcast, I have a little series on Facebook, on my Facebook group. Go to inacobany.com/Facebook. It will take you there. Go to the units section, go to In After Dark. And I think you'll find it on episode 39, where I tell you a little bit about me discovering this story from my childhood that was really keeping me stuck, that every time that I thought about putting myself out there in terms of publicity or things like that, I became paralyzed, which doesn't make any sense, right? Because I have a podcast, which is, broadcasted worldwide. I am on my videos on Facebook all the time. So, Ina, what are you talking about that you're afraid of getting out there when you're already out there so much? Here's the deal. I discovered that the reason I'm so comfortable coming and talking to you guys over Facebook is because I have full control over the audience response, right? If there was ever a situation where somebody was bullying somebody in my group, or somebody was saying something negative about my content, it's like, well, you probably don't even belong here. I have full capacity, full rights to remove that person from the group. So I've never had to do it. You guys have all been great. You guys have all been lovely. That's why I love this group. That's never happened, but I know that I have that option. So it actually keeps my content from getting spread out there. It just goes to a particular group of people who are here because they want to hear the message. So whenever I think about publicity and getting out there, I have zero control over what audience is hearing that message, over how they're going to react. And I discovered the story from my past that is keeping me very worried about what people think. Ha! Figure that one out, right? I'm here preaching to you guys about like, get over your fears and get yourself out there, and practice makes perfect. And I'm dealing with the same issues at a different level, right? So these issues are things that continue to pop up no matter what stage you are in your business. So you need to know how to deal with them in the moment when they appear, because this is not going to be the first or the only time that they're going to creep into your life. And this is how they're manifesting for me right now. So as I discovered that, I felt like it opened up a can of worms in my mind, right? It like spilled milk in my brain, right? And now I had to go and clean it up, which means that, you know, my energy just kind of went down. And that, coupled with me not being in launch mode and being excited about everything all the time, and having to sit down and write my story and write all the things that I wanted to write in the article, my mood just started to go down and down. And I went to my therapy session. I just talked about it. So I've been kind of like getting lower and lower and lower. And I'm going to tell you one thing, guys. First of all, please do not mistake this for medical advice or anything to that effect. But I know that for me, if I eat well and I exercise, I know that it keeps those mood swings from happening so drastically, right? I know that I can stay in a much better mood when I'm eating well and when I'm exercising, which actually never happens. Like I'm not the kind of person to eat well or exercise. So you know what? I started to think about choices. I started to think about, you know what? And I'm going to tell you another little story, which is related, which all added up to my coming up to that moment, right? Of feeling like this is all about choices. I had a meeting with a friend of mine who's actually a bodybuilder. She's a medical doctor. And we were talking, and I was telling her, you know what? Talking about health doesn't motivate me. Not just like talking about it, but me getting into shape. It doesn't motivate me when we talk about health, when we talk in terms of health. But you know what motivates me? It's very vain, but basically being vain about my physique is wanting to stay trim, wanting to look good. And like, that's a bigger motivator for me than, you know, working out to be healthy or eating healthy to be healthy is. I was talking to my friend about this, and she told me, hello, I'm a bodybuilder. It's all about how you look. So yes, there's going to be some vanity in your quest for living a healthier life and eating healthy and exercising. There is going to be a vanity factor. And I felt like, wow, like somebody just gave me permission to use, you know, like vanity as a motivator. And the reason I'm telling you this is because this is how it developed in my mind, right? You got to find your own motivators. You got to find the thing that is really going to do it for you. You know, if staying healthy and living a healthy life is enough for you to say, I just want to be healthy. If you're a vegan because you just don't want any more cruelty to animals and you're doing your part, that's a great motivator for you. But I discovered that health wasn't enough, right? It should be, right? Everything should be, but it's not. So it's like she gave me permission. Yes, Ina, it's okay to want Ariana Grande's body, right? Because she's little, so I relate to her. So I'm like, it's okay to want that. And I'm like, okay, so what do I have to do to get there? And that all, you know, put into what I've been telling you about came down to making a choice. And this was such a powerful epiphany moment for me, because I'm the kind of person to just go to do things. You can't stop me from doing whatever it is I want to do, but I can stop me, right? So when I'm here looking at all these publicity tasks and I find myself feeling frightened about them, right? By the way, I'm not frightened about speaking in public. I'm not frightened about you know, getting published someplace that has panache, that has cachet, that has, you know, like, I would love to do that and come back to this group and tell you I got published in this news outlet, right? Like, I love to tell you about that stuff, but for some reason, just the simple act of sitting down and doing these things is paralyzing. Like, paralyzing fear just floods over me. So when I look at all these tasks that I need to do that I'm afraid of doing, so I have not done them. When I look at my health, right, and knowing that I'm not doing anything for it, and I'm like, okay, what is it that I need to do? And it came to making a choice. So I said, over the weekend, I've been psyching myself for this. And I'm like, okay, you know what I'm going to do for 1 month? And I understand, please don't go into diets unless you're planning on making them a lifestyle change. That's really the only way to make them last. But I'm like, okay, I'm just going to give myself just a goal, right? That for 1 month, I'm just going to go through this full detox, and then I'll start to introduce more foods later on. So I decided, okay, let's see if I can do this, because I have kind of like an obsessive personality too. So I know that I could stick to something if I really wanted to. So I'm like, just for a month, I'm just going to try no sugar, no gluten, no dairy, and see what happens, right? Just an experiment. And every morning when I wake up, I'm just going to take a walk around the block, right? Sometimes I sprint, sometimes I walk, but I'm just going to take a walk around the block. And I realized, you know what? It all comes down to choices. Nobody else is making these choices for me, right? Nobody else is like pulling at me and telling me you need to do this. It's something that I need to take on my own. So every morning, it has not been easy, but every morning when my alarm clock goes off, I think to myself, like the mantra in my head is, make a different choice today, right? Make a different choice, make a different choice, right? That's what it comes down to. You want Ariana Grande's body, you're going to have to make different choices. So I wanted to relate all of this that has been happening for me to you guys, because when I come here, I assume that you guys are in a spot where you want to start a business on the side, where you want to achieve that kind of financial freedom down the line, where you're not afraid of hard work, where you want to do this, right? But there's something that is stopping you, and you know what it is. You know what it is that's stopping you. It could be fear. It could be that you reprioritize your funds, like the money you have in your credit cards and all that stuff. You're like, no, I'm going to spend that money here. I'm not going to spend it here. It could be that you just haven't figured out what it is that you actually want to do, but you're not taking action to get the help that you need. So there's something stopping you from achieving that financial freedom. You know what the worst case scenario could be? That in 10 years, you're going to remember this in After Dark episode. You're going to remember this podcast episode. And you're going to say to yourself, you know what? When Ina said, make a different choice, I thought I could make different choices. I could pick one night a week. And I did this, guys. I did this totally. 2015 or 2016. I picked one night a week where I told my husband, you please pick up the kids, figure it out. I'm going straight from work to the library, and I'm going to teach myself how to create mobile apps. That was my idea at the time, right? So it's your choice. It's up to you to make the time. And it's so funny. I posted something on Facebook yesterday, and somebody said that she had like 4 jobs. And I responded, how do you find time for all of it? And I just realized I wasn't speaking to the microphone. Sorry, guys. I hope you could hear me all this time. So how do you do all of this? How do you make time for all of this? She responds in capital letters, I make the time. And I'm like, bravo. Like, yes, that's what it takes. You figure it out. You just do it. But it comes down to making that choice that this is actually something that you want to do, right? So when it comes to this publicity stuff, I got together with my project manager. You guys, if you need help, ask for help. I needed help. That's why I hired myself a project manager / VA. You've all seen her. Her name is Kate Hutchison. If you want to listen to an interview that I did with her, go to the Facebook group, go to Units, go to March Monetization Madness, and find her interview, Kate Hutchison. She's amazing. So I talked to her today, and I told her, Kate, I need help. I need you. And she's like, good, because you have me. Ask for help. I'm like, I need you because I feel like I need to do these tasks, but I have this wall of fear in front of me, and I want to get over it. I don't want to be that person who just looks at fear and says, okay, I'm just going to do something else. No, I am getting over this. Help me. So she helped me. She looked at the things that I needed to do, and she told me, okay, we're going to do one. Open up your calendar and tell me when you're going to do it. So I looked at my calendar. I said, I have a couple hours tomorrow. I'm going to do it then. Okay, great. When are you doing the next thing? Well, on Thursday, I have 1 hour in the morning. Do it then. And on Friday, I have 1 hour in the morning. Do it then. Okay, and on Monday, I'm going to be traveling, so I actually have some time. I'm going to do this. So I needed help. Yes, I could have just sat down with my calendar and done that for myself, but guess what? My fear was preventing me from seeing clearly, from making a different choice. So I made the choice to get help. And I did it. And I'm breathing deeply because my fear has not gone away, but I'm going to sit down and do these things. So I wanted you guys, like, and if you guys are here listening to this live, if you guys are listening on the podcast, you guys, I want your feedback. I want you to tell me, does this resonate with you? Is there one thing in your life that you're like, yes, I need to do that thing and I just need to do it. I just need to bite the bullet and do it. Because if there's one thing that I don't believe in, it's in white knuckling through stuff, because that doesn't work. Because when there's nobody else holding us accountable, when there's nobody else that we are afraid of disappointing, right? When there's nobody else looking at what we're doing, it's very easy to just, when you fail, because we fail all the time. I fail on a daily basis. Trust me, guys, I fail on a daily basis. Failure is whatever you make of it. To me, failure is missing to do something. That doesn't mean that I will never do it. It means that I missed doing it when I wanted to do it, right? So that could be a failure to me. So if you're afraid of failing, right, if that's what's stopping you, I want you to guys think about that thing that you want to do, right? And you're afraid of failing at it, and you're afraid of succeeding at it. Oh my God, I had this fear of success, guys. This is a doozy. Prepare yourself. I'm about to tell you what the fear of success was for me. And I believe I did a whole podcast episode about this, back in the day, where I was afraid that because my business is currently taking time away from my family, I was afraid that if my business grew too large, I would have even less time for my family, which meant that my husband was going to leave me. So can you imagine associating success with the complete destruction of your personal life? That's what I was going through with my fear of success. And I had to have some heart-to-hearts with my husband to get a reality check. And I told him exactly what I thought. And he's like, you're crazy. That's never going to happen. And in fact, that would not be a great reason for me to divorce you. I had to face these demons. So I wanted to ask you guys, do you feel like there's something out there that you just need to white knuckle your way through? And I'm telling you right now, get help. White knuckling, it's very easy for you to look around, see if somebody watches you. If nobody's watching you fail, you can just basically sweep it under the rug and keep moving as if nothing had happened, which is not what you want. What you want is to fail in a way that others can see it, so that you can feel like, you know what, this is not what I want to do. I don't want to fail at this. I want to succeed at this. So I'm going to keep trying, and other people can cheer you on, right? Something that I do routinely for my clients is I give them assignments, because you guys, I was a project manager. When I have clients, I don't just do talk therapy with them. I don't just sit and ask them about how they're feeling and then just let them go on their merry way. I actually help them get things done, right? I give them assignments that will help them reach the next level. And anybody who's been my client can attest to this, right? I give you specific assignments so you can keep moving forward in your goals. So, but there are times that, guess what? And this happens every single time. So I prepare my clients for this. There will come a time when I give you an assignment that will hit against your fears, and it will be very hard for you to complete it. And you're going to come back, and I don't want you to cancel our meeting. I don't want you to come and say, maybe I should try another week and we can skip this week. That is not going to happen. We're going to get on the phone and we're going to deal with this, because whatever you're feeling right now, these blocks that you're feeling right now will show up later. And you need to deal with them now, so that you know that when they show up later, you know how to deal with it. So that's when we come back, take a step back, and we talk through the fears, so that we can say, okay, what can we do? right? And this goes back again to white knuckling. If my clients simply had a list of things to do from me, what are the chances, do you think, that they're going to make it through to the step where they get the biggest block and keep moving on without somebody actually encouraging them and adjusting the strategy for them? I even had one client where I told her the story of, you know what, when you're out in the field, you're a football player, you're out in the field and the other team is scoring goal after goal on you, it's not like you can just reset your mind for the rest of the game, right? And say, it's fine, we can just pick it up from here. It has an effect in your psyche and it can affect your performance for the rest of the game. So that's how I treat my client engagements, is let's keep you moving forward. And if we encounter a step where you feel like you're getting yourself down, like I did, like I was over the past couple of weeks, if there's something that is getting you down, let's reframe and keep pushing forward. Okay, let's reframe. Let's focus on a different activity that is going to bring the life back onto you, right? That's what I do with them. So back to my question to you, which I haven't finished because I keep getting sidetracked. Back to my question to you. Is there something, and tell me in the comments, all right? Especially if you're on replay, tell me in the comments. And if you're on the podcast, feel free to leave a comment on the podcast. Like, go to the review section and tell me how you're feeling. Or come back to the Facebook group and tell me, find this video under the In After Dark in their units, episode 41, and go check it out and leave me a comment there. Let's interact. Let's talk about this, okay? You can also DM me over Instagram. It's very easy to get a hold of me, guys. Tell me, what is that thing that you really want to do that you feel like if you try to white knuckle your way through it, it's just going to be the same result as you have found the past 3 years, or in the past 2 years, or in the past year you're trying to do this? What is that thing that you feel like, you know what, I think it's time for me to get help. I think it's time for me to make a different choice than I have made over the past 2 years of my life, trying to do something to achieve my goal and nothing is happening. It's time to make a different choice and to figure that out. So that's basically what I wanted to leave you with. Wake up tomorrow, look at your choices, and make a different one. Hopefully for the better, right? What is your plan? What do you want to accomplish? Make that choice. Okay, I'm giving you permission to make that choice. All right. If you guys enjoyed this episode, if you guys related to this at all, if you felt like this is going to help you move forward, I would love it if you take a screenshot of it, post it on Instagram, tag me at Ina Coveney. Tell people that this podcast episode happened. It may change somebody else's life out there. Plus, I want the opportunity to see that so that I can thank you personally. So thank you guys so much for watching this and for listening to this. Leave me a comment. Tell me what your thoughts are. Tell me how this sat with you. What is so hard about making different choices? Let's start a conversation around this. All right, guys, that is all I had for today. Thank you so much for coming, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye. Yay, thank you for watching. If you like that video, remember to subscribe right here to get notified of new episodes, and don't miss the podcast version, Trailblazing Out of Corporate Life. Go look it up and subscribe. I'll see you later. Bye.